It is week 9 in the NFL, and we are back, baby. Another best bets video, the Sunday slate for week 9 of the NFL. Last week we did okay. If I can look, I think we were 8-6 or so. I could be wrong. I think that's what we were. Not bad. Not bad. Definitely could be better, but anytime you're about 500, you're good to go. You're good to go. So we start this Sunday. We head to Indianapolis, where the Baltimore Ravens will take on the Indianapolis Colts. I love this game. It is the first time this year that the Colts gets to play a top-tier team. They haven't had the hardest schedule. I'm curious as to what they can do against a top-tier type level team. The number 1 rush offense in Baltimore, the number 2 rush defense against the Colts. Now, Pittsburgh has a great rush defense too. They were up near the top last week, and what did Baltimore do? They ran for 265 yards against that rush defense. So I don't see that playing a big factor. Baltimore, I believe, is going to play the exact same way. They're going to run it down their throats. They're going to keep the ball in Lamar's hands just as much as he needs to. He's not a 400-yard-a-week guy. He's not going to complete 35, 40 passes. Baltimore is going to run the ball. Any pass play for Lamar, he could take off for 15 yards. It's absolutely crazy. That's how Baltimore moves their offense. Can Phillip Rivers match what Baltimore can do? Ben Roethlisberger did it last week. He matched him, overcame him. Steelers got the win. Can Rivers do the same way? I don't think the Colts are going to be able to run the ball as good or enough. Phillip Rivers is going to have to beat him through the air. T.Y. Hilton, Hines, can those guys be enough? Can they do it? Great defenses on both sides. I think this is going to be another great game, just like Pittsburgh and Baltimore last week. However, I think the result's going to be flipped. I'm sorry, Colts fans. I just think Baltimore is going to play the same way they did last week, and I think it's going to work this week. I don't think it's going to blow. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to come down to the last possession again. The spread is only 1.5 for Baltimore on the road. The over-under is 46.5. I'm really tempted to take the over here, and I might take the over as well. But I think 1.5 on the road. I think Baltimore wins the game. When the spread is that low, you're pretty much just picking a winner. I think Baltimore wins and bounces back on the road. I'm probably going to take the over 2, but I like the 1.5 for Baltimore as well. We head next to Arrowhead Stadium, where the return of CMC is upon us. About 30 minutes ago, before I recorded this video, CMC Christian McCaffrey was activated, and he will play this Sunday. The downside, they're playing the Chiefs. Welcome back, Christian McCaffrey. Carolina lost to Atlanta last week. The team has been dead to me all year long. I mean, Atlanta's a bad team. Sorry. Carolina beat them earlier in the year, I'm pretty sure. Lost to the Falcons last week. Didn't look good last week. That doesn't bode well going on the road to Arrowhead. Even though you're getting a McCaffrey back, it changes your offense. I get it. It changes your team. He's a Pro Bowler. I get it. But KC is still arguably the best team in the league. Still moves the ball offensively, however, whenever they want. They lead the league in takeaways, and they force teams to beat them on the ground. They only allow 200 yards through the air per game. That's incredible. Great secondary. Christian McCaffrey is going to have to beat the Chiefs. It's that simple. It's that simple. Bridgewater's not going to do it. He's not going to be able to do it. Christian McCaffrey is going to have to beat him on the ground. And how much are they going to push CMC? Are they going to feed him 25 times? Are they going to ease him back in? I have no idea. Could they ease him back in like the Packers did to Aaron Jones on Thursday? Give him a little bit, pull him out for a series or two. Slowly put him back in. If McCaffrey does get that ball a lot, The Chiefs are 29th in the league in rush defense, so they will be able to move the ball on the ground unless KC just absolutely 9-man front and tries to stop McCaffrey, which they might be able to do. And that's going to force Bridgewater to try to win the game. Don't see it. It's the only way the game stays close is if McCaffrey can be effective on the ground. The spread is 10.5 for the Kansas City Chiefs. As of when I did this, 52.5 is the over under. The 10.5 scares me a little bit simply because McCaffrey is back. If they can move the ball, I think Carolina keeps this game a little bit closer than what a lot of people think. So taking the 10.5 is a little scary. KC is going to score their points. This is another type of bet that is a numbers game. If Carolina can score 17 points or so, the over is going to hit. So that's what I'm going to take. I'm taking the over 52.5. Let's hope McCaffrey gets the ball a lot and he gashes this defense because the Chiefs are going to score points no matter what. So I'm taking the over 52.5 in KC. All right, we head to Nashville where two teams desperately need a win to keep pace in their division. You got the Chicago Bears taking on the Tennessee Titans. Both teams need a win. The Bears are a game behind, I think a game and a half behind Green Bay now because of the Thursday win. And the Colts and Titans are deadlocked at 5-2. Colts have a big game this week. We already talked about them. If the Titans can get a win here, I hope the Colts lose. It's a very, very good week. Get into week 10 with a full game lead in your division. That'd be great for Tennessee. Another close game for the Bears last week. Their defense continues to keep their team in games. Saints beat them in overtime. The offense is continuing to not be anything. Take out Allen Robinson. Bears defense is a dumpster fire. Their defense is the only thing keeping them in games, which is entirely fine. Offense, defense, it's all a team. Defense does their job. The offense needs to step up. Tennessee, on the other hand, after starting off 5-2, they're coming off of 2 straight losses. Absolutely needs to put a stop to this losing streak. They cannot go into that mental depth of losing 3, then 4. Oh my God, when is it going to stop? Holy crap. Oh no, can't get into that. They got to get this game right. They're a big favorite at home. I mean, I say big, but it's not big. But for two teams that are with decent records, 6.5 points at home is a pretty big spread. I think the odds makers really likes the Tennessee offense. Tennessee's defense has not looked great lately, but honestly, I don't think it needs to against this Bears offense. I think Tennessee will win this game. They're going to do it on the back of Derrick Henry. They're going to do it offensively. But I think Chicago finally comes up with something like they did, or like Cincinnati did last week against Tennessee to put up 31 points. I think they're going to come up with some sort of offensive game plan to make it easier. Bears are going to put up some points, but I don't think they beat Tennessee. I think Tennessee runs the ball. I think Derrick Henry is a freaking man-child. He's incredible. He's an earth mover, and I think he does it here again. The -6.5, I was trying to figure out which way I want to go with this. The -6.5, I feel because of the Bears' defense, this could be one of those one-possession garbage time type situations. And I'm probably making a mistake here, but I'm going to take the over in this game. 47.5. Yes, the Bears' defense is not incredible, but like I said, I think they find a way to put up some points. Everyone's thinking the Bears can't put up points. The Bengals just did it. Yes, they have Joe Burrow. I get it. Completely different teams. But the Bengals just put up 31. Can the Bears put up 20? Yes, I think so. Again, a numbers game. I think the Bears can put up 20, and that's where I think the over hits. The Titans win. I'm not sure if they cover, but I think the over is going to hit 47.5. It's a miracle. Prayers have been answered. The Falcons did not blow a fourth quarter lead last week. Yes, granted, it was only a 2-point lead, but they didn't blow it. They didn't blow a fourth quarter lead. That's a minor victory. It's a minor victory. This week, it's the Broncos' turn to go into Atlanta to try and take it to Matt Ryan and the Falcons. it's interesting. The Falcons didn't blow a lead, but Denver made the Chargers blow a lead last week. Insane fourth quarter from Drew Lock. The Chargers pulled in Atlanta, let the Broncos stage a fourth quarter comeback. They scored, 3 times in the fourth quarter. Think whatever you will about that last play. The result is the result. Drew Lock last week in the first 3 quarters, 93 yards passing total and 1 pick. In the fourth quarter alone, 3 touchdowns through the air, and he threw for 155 yards. Chargers let him have it. They let off the gas. Denver took advantage. It's the NFL. Anything can happen. Just ask the Falcons. And Drew Lock took care of it. Julio Jones for Atlanta was targeted 10 times. He is starting to come into his own after a couple injuries early in the year. I think that continues. Matt Ryan looks to Julio a bunch. He targets him double digits again. Matty Ice needs someone to focus on. He finally has that back. He had Ridley earlier in the year, but Jones is his guy. Jones is his dude. Now that Jones is healthy, that's who his eyes are going to be on. The spread is -4 for the Falcons. The over-under is 50. In Atlanta's last 5 games, the under is 4-1, and you have to assume that fourth quarter Drew Lock from last week will not be the Drew Lock that comes through this week. Even though Atlanta has struggled, past 3 or 4 weeks, their defense has not been that bad. They've just found ways to lose games. Yes, early in the year they gave up a bunch of points. I'm saying recently, just recently, their defense has not been terrible. The game has just been close, which is beautiful for the under. The over-under is 50. Life is too short to bet the under, but I'm going to do it anyways. I don't trust the Broncos offense. Atlanta's defense has not been as bad as it was early on in the year. I think Atlanta puts up a little bit of points here. I don't think Denver can even match them. Atlanta wins the game. I refuse to bet on the Falcons the rest of this year. I said that earlier. I'm going to stick to it. It's not happening. I'm not putting any money on the Atlanta Falcons. Don't trust them. They lost my faith. However, I think under 50 is the way to go here. I think Denver struggles offensively, and I think Atlanta does just enough to win, but I think the total stays under 50. All right, now we head to the NFC, I believe it's the South? Yeah, NFC South. No. Yes. NFC South. Oh, God, I'm tired. All right. The Detroit Lions head to Minnesota to take on the Vikings, who upset the Green Bay Packers last week and lost me a lot of money. It was a Dalvin Cook show last week. Dalvin Cook did absolutely whatever he wanted against that Green Bay defense. He could have ran for 700 yards and scored 10 times if that game would have kept going. It's absolutely incredible. 30 carries, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, ran at will against that Green Bay defense. Last week, Detroit got hammered by the Colts. Detroit, because they have Stafford, in my mind, Detroit is always that team that can put up 30 points. In my mind, it's not really the reality, but every time it's the Lions, oh man, they could really put up, Stafford could throw the ball 60 times and they could score 28 points. They're going to give up 49, but they can do that. I always have that in my mind with Detroit. Both of these defenses are not good at all. They both allow almost near 30 points a game. But I think the difference is Dalvin Cook. Minnesota saw last week what happens when you give Dalvin Cook the ball 30 plus times. Yes, he was successful, so you're going to keep doing it. But Dalvin Cook can turn a tide of a game just like that. He single-handedly beat the Green Bay Packers last week. No question. That's what they need to lean on again. Detroit is in the bottom third of defensive rush yards allowed, and I think they continue to feed Dalvin Cook. That's a better trustworthy player to have the ball in besides Kirk Cousins, and I don't think Detroit is going to be able to stop it. I'm not saying it's another 30, 163, 3 type day for Cook, but I think he runs the ball efficiently. I think he crosses 100 yards, and I think he takes that game under control just like he did last week. It's 4.5 points is the spread for the Minnesota Vikings. The over-under is 51. I really think the over is going to hit here, and that's exactly what I said at the beginning with the Detroit Lions. I think the Vikings take a lead. I think Detroit gets some garbage touchdowns. I think the over hits here, but for me, I think the better money is the Vikings 4.5. I mean, as long as they give the ball to Dalvin Cook, they're gonna cover that spread. I think 4.5 is a little bit low. I might also take the over in this game. But I think 4.5 is the way to go. Dalvin Cook runs down the Lions' throats. Vikings get a win, and I think they cover the 4.5. All right, we head to another week, another game, another team with a struggling quarterback and another rookie that will take over because of an injury. We head to Houston, traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Minshewless Jacksonville Jaguars. These teams are a combined 2-12. It's the toilet bowl. Gardner Minshew is out. He's hurt. Rookie 6th round pick from Oregon State, Jake Luton. It might be Jake Luton. I think it's Luton. He is going to get the start for Jacksonville as they try to get a win against Houston. These teams met 4 weeks ago. The game was somewhat close, but Houston pulled away in the fourth quarter for a big win. Both these teams are just bad. They're poor defensively. Most of the stats being in the bottom 5 of the league for both sides. But I think the difference here will be the rookie quarterback from Oregon State going up against a talented Houston defense. Numbers don't say it, but player personnel does. I think J.J. Watt has a field day. I think this front four for Houston has a field day against the rookie quarterback. I don't play football, but I've heard enough people, I've heard enough interviews when there's a rookie quarterback or somebody new, defenses can't wait. They attack. Hopefully that's what Houston does. Put this quarterback from Oregon State on his heels, make him make decisions, probably going to be poor ones. Even with Gardner Minshew, Jacksonville was not a good team. They struggled. Add in a rookie quarterback here, and I think it's going to be even tough sledding, even more tough sledding for the Jaguars. The spread is 6.5 on the road, which I think is probably fair for a rookie quarterback. The over-under is 50.5. I don't trust the points in this game at all. There's a good chance that this is a absolutely nothing, a low-scoring game. So I don't trust the points, but going up against a rookie quarterback, yes, it's on the road, but I think the 6.5 here is where I will take. I trust the Deshaun and the Texans to cover the 6.5 against a rookie 6th round quarterback who's getting his first taste of action with the Jacksonville Jaguars. 6.5, Texans. That's who I'm taking. What's that? That's not surprising. Yeah, it's about right. Okay. Yep. I appreciate it. All right, thank you. Okay. Sorry, guys. That was a call from the future, and this game is going to end in a tie. It's going to be a tie. It has to for the NFC East. This game is going to end in a tie because why wouldn't that happen in the NFC East this year? So, 3-3, that's going to be the game. Sorry, let's move on. Okay, I'm just kidding. It would be great though, right? That'd be hilarious. I would love it. What a story. The NFC East stinks. They're terrible. I would love a tie. In week 6, these two teams played. I think Riverboat Ron for Washington made the wrong call. Tried to go for 2 and beat the Giants, which I think was the absolute wrong call. And it bit them. They lost it. The Giants won. Washington should have just kicked the extra point, gone to overtime. The division's still in play for everybody, especially back in week 6. And I think it was the wrong call. I mean, both these teams are just terrible. 30th and 31st in offensive yards, 30th and 31st in total points scored. It's just really, really bad. I see both teams struggling to move the ball. Yes, the Giants moved the ball last week pretty well. against the Bucs for the first half or so, and then just kind of fell apart. I think that was an anomaly. I don't think that happens again. Both teams are going to turn the ball over. I don't see it happening. I don't see both these teams miraculously beating on each other. I think it's going to be another NFC East showdown that's going to be boring and terrible to watch. They're so bad. However, the Giants are the better team, and I think it's going to be the exact same situation as Week 6. Boring game, low-scoring game, but it's going to be close. It's the exact same under that was set in Week 6 at 42.5. Washington is a favorite here for some reason at 2.5. I wouldn't have saw that coming. I thought it would be the other way. The Giants would be the 1.5, 2.5 point favorites. But it's the exact same over. I have no idea who's going to win this game. I really don't care. But it's the exact same over-under as Week 6. Week 6, there were 39 points. I probably won't bet this one because I just don't think there's value in what could happen with points. But if I had to, gun to my head, make a choice, I probably would pick the under again because both these teams are terrible. They stink. It's going to be boring. It's not going to matter. Under 42.5, and who cares? All right, it's time to talk about my boys. It's time. Hold on one second. All right, that's a little bit better. I feel a little more comfortable. You guys good? I'm good. Okay, let's go. All right, Seattle Seahawks go on the road across country to take on the Buffalo Bills. No bias here at all. But Russell Wilson is the MVP frontrunner at this point. If you don't believe me, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. They get on a plane, travel to Buffalo in a pretty big game for both sides here. I talk about it every single week. It's the exact same story for Seattle. Our defense is terrible. We're god-awful on defense. We win the game because of our offense. Yes, last week we played pretty well against the Niners, but the whole team is depleted. I don't count that. They're playing second and third stringers pretty much the whole game. Garoppolo and Kittle didn't get hurt until later in the game. I get it, but I still don't take a lot of stock in that. The 49ers are just really bad right now. So I don't really count that game defensively. We come up against a decent team offensively. I think they're going to be able to move the ball on us and do kind of whatever they want. Can the defense get... make a few stops? Can they make one stop? Can they make a half a stop? Can they keep Buffalo out of the end zone and make them kick field goals? That's what it's going to come down to. Buffalo, on the other hand, started out really, really strong the first 4 weeks. Everybody was high on them. Oh my God, the Bills are incredible. They have slowly started to come back down the earth. The last 4 games, they've only put up a little under 19 points per game, which for that talented offense is not good. They're going the other way, and they're coming into a Seattle, or coming against the Seattle team where that's not what you want to be doing. You don't want to be digressing. You want to be improving. And last week, Buffalo got away with a game. They played a really bad Patriots team and only lost, most likely because of a fumble down in the red zone late by Cam Newton. So Buffalo got away with one last week. They're just continuing to go the wrong way. There's still talent on the side of Buffalo. Obviously, Seattle offensive side is full of talent. And as long as Russell doesn't have one of his Arizona Cardinal games where he throws 2-3 picks, I just don't see this being a problem for Seattle. The spread is 3 on the road. The over-under is 55. I think Seattle wins this game. For both teams, the over is a combined 10-4-1. Even with Buffalo's bad offensive outputs the last 4 games, it's still a 10-4-1 over for both teams. And even though Buffalo has struggled to put up points, they're coming up against the worst defense in the NFL in Seattle. So what a perfect time to start putting up points. The over is 55. I think that's easy. That's what I'm going to put my money on. 34-27, Seattle. They cover, they win, but more importantly, the over covers. All right, we travel to Los Angeles where the Las Vegas Raiders will take on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Raiders are going to go from blistery cold, snowy, disgusting conditions in Cleveland and go to the comfortable confines of SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. The Chargers pulled the Falcons last week, came an absolute heartbreaker versus Denver. They absolutely struggled in the fourth quarter, blew a big fourth quarter lead, got the L put on them. They're looking for some revenge. They're pissed off. The Raiders, yes, the weather played a big part, but they held Cleveland to 6 points, 16-6. Pretty gross, disgusting game, but they got some confidence right now. I think that the Rookie of the Year race is between two people. It's Burrow and Herbert. Whoever you want to put 1 and 2 right now doesn't matter. There's still a lot of football left, but I think those are the top two players in the Rookie of the Year race right now. And I'm biased, go Ducks, but that's what I think is going to happen. There's some really strong defensive rookies, but they're quarterbacks, and let's be real, quarterbacks always get the edge. All right. The Chargers have 5 losses. All 5 losses have come in a 1-possession game, and I expect this game to be absolutely the exact same way. Both offenses can move the ball. The Chargers are number 2 in yards per game. The Raiders can also move the ball when they're having a good day. So I think this game comes down to the defense, who can make the big stop, because I think it's going to be singular, not plural. Who can make the stop, not stops. The Raiders this year, the over is 5-1-1. The only loss last week in those weather conditions. So in my eyes, the Raiders all their games have hit the over. The last 4 for the Chargers, over. I mean, it's that simple. Both these teams hit the over. The Chargers are 1.5 point favorites. The over is only 51.5. I think this is an absolute gimme. 51.5. Both teams score. Both teams consistently hit the over, especially recently. Give me the 51.5. Give me the over. Easy peasy. This game I'm really excited for. I'm really excited how these two very young quarterbacks, very exciting quarterbacks. You got Tua with the Dolphins and Kyler Murray with the Arizona Cardinals. Tua versus Kyler. I love it. I can't wait to watch this game. Miami has the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. However, they allow, they're number 20 in yards allowed. So they give up the yards, but they don't give up the points. They bend, but don't break. This is going to be a little bit different. Arizona has won their last 3. Yes, one was the Jets. Yes, one was the Cowboys. Yes, one was some other team that I'm not going to say because I, for some reason, am being forgetful of who the Cardinals beat in overtime, 37-34. So we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. Okay? Can Miami keep Kyler inside the pocket? Can they limit his rushing yards? He leads QBs in rushing yards, and it's not even close, and he scored 7 times. Arizona's offense comes down to whether Kyler Murray can move the ball with his feet or not. Can Miami spy him? Can they keep him contained? For both of these two teams, the over-under is 3-11 for these teams. Kyler obviously has more confidence coming off a big win, coming off a bye week. Miami's a different team now with Tua. They've only had 1 game under their belt. Granted, it was a win against a very good St. Louis team. Or St. Louis. Oh, my God. See? Rams, St. Louis. It's going to take a few years. Rams team, Los Angeles. I mean, the over-under is 3-11. The Cardinals are 3.5 point favorites. The over-under is 48.5. I honestly have been going back and forth. I don't know what to do with this game. I mean, I could easily see 28-24, a game kind of like that. So when it comes down to it, I think I'm going to take the over here. Kyler can move the ball with his feet. Tua's got some confidence. So yes, scoring defense. Tua being only a second game. The over-under being 3-11 sets up perfect for the under, right? Wrong. Taking the over. Stats lie sometimes. Over 48.5. Let's go. Well, this is a game we're going to have to watch, I guess. I mean, Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys. I mean, what can we say here? There's absolutely no reason to even come in saying Dallas can have a chance. Dallas, man, if the Cowboys can do this, absolutely not. Dallas is terrible. They just announced that Cooper Rush is going to start at quarterback. Or, I'm sorry, Gilbert's going to start at quarterback instead of Cooper Rush. I mean, look at what happened last week with the Eagles, who are not even that good of a team. They shut down Ben DiNucci. You bring in another quarterback against this elite Steelers defense. What do you think is going to happen? I don't see it. Dallas is a dumpster fire. Pittsburgh is the only lone undefeated team. I think this game is disgusting. It's disgusting. Dallas going up against a good team this time. I'd be surprised if they even got 9 points like they did last week against Philly. Pittsburgh's going to do whatever they want offensively. Big Ben's going to be out in the fourth quarter. They're going to pull him in the fourth quarter. Dallas is not even going to get the 200 yards of offense. That's my prediction. It's just going to be bad. It's going to be terrible. Dallas is 0-8 against the spread this year. No team in NFL history has ever been 0-9 against the spread. Guess what? That's going to change. There is no chance Dallas covers the spread here. When I was doing my research, Pittsburgh was a 14-point favorite. The over-under was 41.5. This is a 30-point victory for the Steelers. Absolutely maul them. 14 is way too low, considering the Chiefs and Jets were 19.5 last week. 14 is too low. Hopefully the spread didn't jump, but I think 14 is an absolute gimme. Take the 14. It's going to be boring. Steelers are going to absolutely obliterate them in Dallas. All right, the final game of the video, we will go to Sunday Night Football, and we get a good one, an absolute good one. You got Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints traveling to Tampa, Florida to take on TB12 and the rest of the Buccaneers. I can't wait for this game. I love when these two quarterbacks match up. It's not the Saints versus the Bucs. It's Brees versus Brady. These two just want to beat each other. They want to one-up each other. They're competitors, and I love it because they trade punches back and forth. I love it. The last 3 games for the Saints have been 3-point contests, and Tampa Bay is coming off a really frustrating win against the Giants. They won the game, but you could tell they were not happy. Brady was not happy. The team didn't perform well. They have to put that in the past. But they're going to come out and try to prove something and prove that a 2-point win against the Giants was a fluke, an absolute fluke. They're going to come out throwing blows. As these two do, as competitors do, both will be trying to one-up each other, trying to be better. Tampa Bay lost to this Saints team in Week 1, where the Bucs did not look good and Brady did not look good. So there's more incentive there for more revenge for the Bucs. The 2-point Giants win and the Week 1 loss, they have a lot to prove, especially at home. As of this recording, I'm hoping that both offenses will be at full strength. Thomas and Alvin Kamara are both questionable. I just read that Thomas is good to go. So at least we got him. Godwin and Miller for Tampa Bay were limited on practice on Thursday. Have not heard anything about them yet. I'm hopeful that all 4 of those guys can play. So this game is full strength, and we can really see what's going on. I'm hopeful Kamara, Godwin, and Miller can all be good to go to play on Sunday night. Both teams can obviously move the ball well. Both do pretty well with stopping the run. Considering who the QBs are, this is going to be a whatever you can do, I can do better situation. If Brees throws a touchdown, makes a good throw, Brady's going to be even more motivated to go do it himself, and vice versa. I love this game. I can't wait. The Bucs are a 4-point favorite at home. 50.5 is the over/under. With the Saints, the over is 7-0 this week. And this game alone put up 57 points in Week 1. I expect the same. Brees is going to put up points. Brady's going to try to match him. Don't know who's going to win, but my money is going to be 50.5 on the over. Points are going to be scored. It's going to be a great game, but the over is going to hit 50.5. Take it. Thank me later. So that's it for Week 9, my best bets. The video was a little longer than what I anticipated this week. I apologize. but I had a lot of good notes. So good luck, man. Good luck, everybody. Make your money, make your bets. Please let me know on Twitter, in the comments, what your bets, what your card looks like this Sunday. I wish y'all the best of luck. Follow me in the description, Twitter, Twitch. Show me some love. Like this. Subscribe to the channel. But most importantly, let's talk football. Let me know what your cards are, what you think is going to happen this Sunday. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. We'll see you next time for Week 10 of the NFL.